up, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday night of This Is Not a Podcast, although it's really turning into a podcast, so we're going to have to rename it, I think. It's been pretty consistent, and that was the big thing. I didn't really want to call it something if I didn't know how consistent it was going to be. My life's pretty hectic with sports, but it's been pretty consistent on Monday nights at 8 o'clock, and here we are again, and we have a star-studded lineup tonight with a bunch of really important people in the industry and specifically a bunch of really important people to what we are doing this weekend. We are lining up for our second run at Santee Cooper with the Hobie BOS Open Series. Official practice is open. Guys are down there in town, sticking fish, I'm sure, enjoying the beautiful sights around Santee Cooper. And we are excited to be down there this weekend fishing with hopefully 200 anglers on the Queen City side and 180 and change on the Hobie BOS Open side. So before we bring in those guys affiliated with those series and those cities, I want to bring in Mr. Blaine here. What's buddy? Up? Have you come down from the high of directing your first tournament yet?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah, man. It went really good. I mean, man, the turnouts were what we kind of expected and wanted, and the fishing was phenomenal. So that's always a plus. And man, I couldn't have asked for it to go better. I was very happy.
Yeah, I got to say the same from the owner / boss perspective. I couldn't have been happier. You did an amazing job. The anglers did an amazing job. The host city of Lexington, South Carolina, did an amazing job in having us down there. Lake Murray Country was pumped to have us. The venue was perfect. So all in all, great event. We are headed back south again, but this is not a South Division event, but you are actually going to be playing director again. So you won't be on site, but you'll be the man behind the laptop all day. So wanted to thank you publicly for that. And we also have another judge, Chris Cantwell, part of my native team. He's going to be working with Blaine on judging all the fish this weekend. So huge shout out to you guys. We couldn't do it without you. I couldn't be on the water without you. So thank you for that, Blaine.
No problem, man. Just want to give you an opportunity to prove to everybody you can still catch fish.
Ooh, every now and then. We'll see.
Don't want to give you too much to live up to, man. But get back in the saddle and go out there and try and see what Santee's still about.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to fish, but it's one of those places where it's zero or hero for me. And last year's Hobie event was literally 0 to hero in 2 days. 57 inches on day one, 106 inches on day two. So it's just that kind of lake. Unfortunately, I'm not down there yet. I got to work a few days this week, and then I'm going to take Thursday, Friday, and head down and hopefully put something together and be able to compete this weekend.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful place. If you've never been there and you're watching this, I mean, it's second to none. I say fishing cypress forest is just absolutely my favorite thing on the planet, and there's so much of that there that, I mean, you could go days in areas and still not fish at all.
You have some unofficial record for the club out of some lake down there, don't you?
I might. I don't like to bring that up too often, but because that's the thing. If I keep pumping my own, head up, then eventually someone's gonna beat it. So I'm not gonna.
Well, tell us what it is and tell us what event, so I can say on public air that I'm gonna beat it this weekend.
There you go. So in the first ever Queen City No Limit Big Bass event, I went down to Santee Cooper, was on the lake list, and that was the one that I figured I was going to catch the biggest bass on. With the format, I knew I just wanted to go for an hour, just that big bite. If I could get two, benefit. So went down there, fished all morning, came to about 10 o'clock, and caught my PB, 24-incher, and ended up winning a native kayak, ended up winning a Slayer Max 12.5.
Yep.
And then I ended up with $1,000 cash, and I could not have been happier. And 24-inch bass, I mean, that'll bring a smile to anybody's face. It brings a smile to my face just thinking about it, man. Reliving that moment is amazing.
It was kind of like it was telling us the future. I mean, you were in pink sweatpants. Like if we would have known about the pink sweatpant deal, we could have made it official.
Yeah, the first live that I ever did for my Southern opener, I went to that boat ramp, got out of the truck in the pink sweatpants. I did. I was like, I gotta have good luck for today.
That's awesome. Oh
At
man.
5
Well, look, so I'm
a.m.
gonna say it. I plan on beating you officially in a Queen City official event. Oh no, I'm not fishing the Queen City side of it. Damn
No,
it. So when I catch a 24 and a quarter, it won't count. Oh
no,
well.
we'll count it. We'll count it, Benny.
All right. I wish I could sneak in, but there's some people in the comments saying that I can't catch fish anymore, but I
Wow.
got plenty of data
Oh,
that proves that Ryan Hulsey sucks still at fishing. So
I know.
we won't bring that up right
I
now.
posted
But
a picture of a 5-pounder this week. Ryan's got to give me a 3-pound deduction because it wasn't in a kayak.
I heard.
Not fair.
Well, I want to start off tonight by bringing in Jesse. You all should have a good idea of who this man is. This is the tourism director down in Clarendon County. Obviously, we've been working with Jesse for over a year now. Down last year when we came down to Santee Cooper, and also you got on the road for about a 3-hour drive and came to visit us at the expo this year. So I know I thanked you in person, but that was huge, and I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it meant a lot to the guys who were at the expo. So welcome to the We Need a New Name show on Monday nights, Jeff.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. It's starting to definitely look like a podcast, but I know anything you guys do over at Queen City is definitely going to take off. So when Vinny shot me the invite and said, "Hey, hop on," I was like, "Man, no questions about it." But yeah, thanks to you for inviting me over to that expo. I really got a chance to see a lot of the folks. I know when I was there at the tournament last year, it was a lot going on, and I didn't really get to really meet everybody that I really wanted to. So getting a chance to kind of break down, seeing some of those folks, it was awesome. And I saw some of those familiar faces. I was actually at the Bassmaster Classic this weekend. I got to see Eric Siddiqui, big name kayaker. He really put out. And then AJ, I'll get to it in a minute. I think Russ Snyder's was there as well. He showed up and showed out. So then the kayak world's growing.
So those two names actually were 1 and 2 last year in the Queen City side of Santee Cooper. Siddiqui took it down when I think he had 80 flat, I want to say, and Russ took second. I don't remember his total, but two amazing anglers, two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet as well. And I'm glad that we took you back of putting 200 guys in a room, and you were like, "Whoa, this is a lot of guys who fish out of plastic." So that's always cool.
Absolutely. One of the first things that I've been, here living in Clarendon County my whole life, living on the lakes, fishing, that type of thing. But when I took this position over, just the amount of people that knew the lake better than me and knew every stump hole, every tree, every cypress tree, like Blaine mentioned, it was crazy to me. But it's awesome to see these folks come out from, Charlotte, upstate South Carolina, neighboring states, maybe even some folks from Canada have been down, I've heard. Little teaser there
backstage right now.
Right. But no, it's just awesome. We really appreciate you guys coming out and showcasing us. It's awesome to get to work with Queen City. I couldn't ask for better.
Well, we're really appreciative of you guys down there, not only for hosting us when we come down with the Bass Open Series, but we come down a second time. For those of you who don't really pay attention to the schedule, this is our main series event right now where we plan to have about 200. But we do end our Southern Division down there in the same area, probably the same venue, same bodies of water, working with Jesse again in October. So really looking forward to that. That'll be a Blaine event. He'll be taking it over there, and
we'll get you guys right for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So tell us for the people who are coming into town, where do we got to eat? What do we got to see other than the alligators and the 10-pound bass?
Yeah. So when you're not on the water, so everybody knows what to do on the water. You guys know the water, like I mentioned, some of them better than me. But when you're not on the water, man, we just like the fact that if you come down, maybe you come down from Charlotte, maybe you come down from some of those bigger cities. When you're down here, Clarendon County, Santee Cooper Lakes, man, it's just a getaway. It's laid back. These restaurants, these folks that are coming in. They're glad you're here. If you want to eat on the lake, I really recommend the lake house. It's right there off the water. Maybe, you're scouting a spot right there off the bridge. The lake house gives you a great view of the water. If you're coming into town, you've got Mill Street Grill, Porter Jack's, just about any selection of fast food restaurant. If that's your kick, those are some awesome different places. I think Vinny, if he needs it, I can send you guys over. I've got a little packet that I can drop over. It's got every restaurant our team and I went through, put every restaurant in the area on the list. We put down Airbnbs, VRBOs, last minute campgrounds in case you need recommendations,
Nice.
all that type of stuff. So we can slide that over your way. We just want to do our part to make sure you guys have the best time when you're not fishing. When you're fishing, it's on you. You got to make the bite happen. But everything off of that, we try to make it as smooth as possible for y'all.
Do you have that packet electronically? I can get it out to the
guys? It's electronic, and the best part about it being electronic, we grinded on it. It's hyperlinked, so you just click the link, boom, it just takes you right to the page. If it's a Airbnb, you can sign up that way. If it's a restaurant, we try to get you to the most up-to-date menu that they have. It's got phone numbers on it, everything. So
yeah, that would be huge, man. Let's get that over to me tonight. I'll get it posted in the page.
Yeah,
I'll send it out to everybody who signed up already on Tourney X, and we'll blast it. We want to support you guys as much as you support us. I love it down there. I don't get down there enough. A couple times. It's honestly, this is going to sound ridiculous. It's a lake that I've only fished in tournaments for money. I've never made the drive down and fished for fun, which is a shame. There's not a lot of free time on my calendar, but looking forward to getting down there this weekend. Hopefully nice spawn bite. I think some big bags are going to be put up.
From what I've heard, I haven't been out on the water myself, but I've got a couple feelers out there, and they're telling me it's moving in the right direction. So as you know, weather plays a part in everything, but if the cards come out right, you guys could be looking at some big ones. So
that's awesome. That's exciting. Well, Jess, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. I'll be there Friday night at the captain's meeting. Come hang out, take a picture in front of the banner again, and
absolutely.
We'll see you then.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see y'all.
Take care, buddy. Awesome to have them in our affiliated with Queen City, man. They're so easy to work with, so cool to work with.
And beyond from them. That is insane. That is so generous of them to go together and do that, man. That is awesome. I mean, that just goes to show what kind of sponsors we have here at Queen City.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd love to know who commented that the Georgia angler is going to win, but he's a Facebook user, but he's talking trash.
I get the feeling trash
without being able to allow his names. That's pretty interesting, but I guess we'll see. I would take the field. I would say not a Georgia angler if I had to put money on it.
Someone's about to call him out. You watch those comments. We have enough people here. Someone's going to be like, hey.
Oh, snap. He put his name. G-Man. Hey, while he's here talking trash, not paying attention to his own club, but paying attention to Queen City. Huge shout out to G-Man for a big finish up at Chit this week. Great guy, great angler. I know that if he was closer to where we are, he'd be here full time. But good seeing him on the road. Good seeing him cut a nice check across the stage. So I'm proud of you, man. Good work out there. All right, so let's bring in the next guy, and a lot of what we do, I really don't think we could do without him. So the CEO, the owner, the founder, the boss, everything he is of Tourney X, Mr. Dwayne Walley. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys, how are y'all tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. I almost forgot about it, man. I was in there. We were having supper, kicked back, watching TV, and I looked at my watch. It's 6:30 on our time, and I was like,
"Can we turn that down?"
I said, excuse me. Oh, shit, I got to go. So anyway, I run in here and I said, oh, it was 6:50. So I thought it was 6:30 at first. My wife's kind of like, what do you got to do tonight?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. 2 episodes ago, I was laying on the couch that's right there, and an alarm on my phone rang, and I'm like, what is that? And it was to jump on here for the podcast. So, it happens.
Not a podcast.
Not a podcast.
Well, Dwayne, it's really nice to be talking to you when it's not on the phone and about, something I've got to try and fix on my end.
Oh man, it's all right. It's all good, Blaine. You've been a great help for these guys over in that neck of the woods, and man, I appreciate everything you do for us, and I'm sure that Vinny appreciates that as well. Usually when you're calling me, it's something very simple or something just something slipped
okay.
Yeah, so it's no problem, bud. No problem at all.
We've had some little hiccups because I've never really had somebody else doing it all. So I've either given the native team my login or, added them and moved on. And we've had some hiccups behind the scenes that don't affect the tournament. But as far as access for Blaine, that Dwayne has been able to help immediately. So Dwayne, I love that you're here. I love that we have been working together for a few years now. We are what we are because of you and your program. So, we are 2 peas in a pod. I love it. Our beginnings were not great. We've talked about that before on your podcast. I was a Tourney X hater. I was like, I'm not paying this guy for something that I don't need to pay for. And I've apologized for that. I made a mistake in thinking that. I love the program. I am a paid member of the program. I love everything you guys do, and I'm glad you're here working with not only us, but with some of our other guests that are backstage right now in the Hobie Bass Open Series. So it's pretty awesome.
Man, no apologies needed at all. I mean, it was something new to you. You know what I'm saying? I get that. It's, I mean, even me, it's change, right? People don't like change. I don't like change. If you like change, then we just don't like change, right? We like our comfort zone. We get in that zone. This is the way I want to do it. I'm not going to do it this any differently than this. I get that. But sometimes change is good. Sometimes a little change is not too bad. But you know, this week, man, I'll tell you, I went to Knoxville back in 2019 was my first, and I'm skipping off. I'm going on down a little path real quick on this classic thing we went to this past weekend. And my first thing, it's just a little classic thing. But anyway, you know, I went back in 2019 and we weren't even there yet. We weren't involved with BASS, and so it was good to go back this year to see the people, see you know, AJ and them there. I mean, they were in full force with Hobie, and it was a really good meeting there. I wanted to touch, and I'm going that direction because I want to touch on one thing, Joseph Gayton. So, the day he was in the top 10, right? Well, all the top 10 were there. That I guess it was around 3:00, 2:30 ish. Joseph had brought his daughter with him, and a lot of people don't know this, but she came in, and while her dad was to go up on stage, this little story, her dad was to go up on stage. She had to stay back with one of us, right? So Steve-O had asked me, he says, "Hey man, can you watch, you know, Joseph's daughter?" And I was like, I had that, my eyes were like to big around. Okay, you're entrusting me with somebody's daughter. So anyway, but it was really cool. But let me tell you the story. What happened? So they take off and they go up stage, right? All 10 anglers and Steve-O and Daniel, they head up on stage. And when they do, I look down and she's gone. I mean, literally, she went exit left, poof, gone. And
so you lost a kid. Is that where you're going?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't lose your kid, Joseph. I promise you, I did not. But she was like gone. Well, Joseph had given her his phone, and she knew how to take pictures. So guess where she was heading? She was heading out front to take pictures of her daddy. I'm gonna tell you what. I started running, and I ran that little. There's like a curtain there, and I was running behind the curtain trying to find her, and I finally tracked her down, and here we both go running out there in the front to the stage. And she flops up there with that camera like this, and she's ready to take a picture of her daddy. She was the most patient kid I've ever seen. She would look at me and she'd give me that look. She'd be like, "Where's my daddy? Where's my daddy?" I said, "He's coming. He's coming." If you listen to my stream, you'll hear me in the background say, "He's coming. He'll be out here in just a few minutes," you know. So, but I'll tell you, dude, that was a cool moment to see awesome. When he comes out. And to see her taking those pictures, she's just sitting there. I bet she's got 400 pictures on there of her dad, or at least of the stage.
Proud little kiddo. That's awesome.
In that direction.
But yeah, I mean that stuff like that is just memories that you know. It's just cool stuff. It really is. But
well, I got a memory that just happened recently with you that I'm not going to forget for a long time. You know, I'm driving to Shreveport, Louisiana, Texas border. I'm 1,000 miles from home, and literally in the middle of nowhere multiple times on that drive. And you came out of your way and stopped to meet me at a store, and we hung out, and we got to chit chat for an hour, and we got to go shopping a little bit together. And, you know, that was really cool. And we've met a couple other times. We met down at Seminole. We met at I want to say one other time, but like, it was really cool for you to come out of your way and come hang out with just some little director up here in Charlotte. So that was cool. No, not just a little director, dude. You got it going on. You really do. And I commend you on reaching out and grasping the other states that do need some help. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about just a little while ago backstage about the numbers being up and down and what have you on some of these tournaments. And I think that I'm looking at your tournament right now, 76, is that correct? It's
for this
right
week.
There, 78,
and you're probably going to have, 10, 15, maybe more, or so. We hope maybe more than that. See, right?
10, 15 more than that.
Yeah. How many are you going to
Yeah.
get? What do you predict?
Usually what we have on Thursday doubles on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have close to 200 for this one.
Oh, really? Really? Cool.
Probably.
Yeah. As long as AJ doesn't tell his anglers not to sign up for whatever reason. But no, we had 200 at this joint event last year. We pull 150s if we go alone down there. So yeah, it'll be a large one. We usually on a Monday we have 30 anglers, and we average 120, and we have 30 on Monday. So the fact that
you're
we
already
have
you're already at 76 right now.
That
so 2 years ago,
payday, man.
Blaine, 2 years ago on Friday we had 98 sign up for Santee on Friday. 98.
Really?
Yeah.
That
I
is
was like
crazy.
I was like, damn, we ain't never going back down to Santee. This 32 people signed up on Friday morning, and we had 140 by the time it was over with. It was crazy.
That's nuts.
It was crazy. So
that Friday rush, man, it has you like as a director. It is the most like I know you've learned not to be stressed out about it, but for me, the first Southern event opening on Murray, wanting 60 people, I'm sitting there Thursday going, "We're done. This is it. This is it." And then, dude, everything came together like right at the last minute, and I'm like, okay, we're good.
Maybe we got to find the owner of Tourney X and like offer like a 50-cent discount if they sign up early or something. I don't know what it is about that Friday rush, but
you raffled away free entries. You've given away prizes, trying to get that.
Doesn't matter. I don't know what it is. The payday, maybe?
It's something. Well, I really do. I think it's the Friday payday, man. It's very common for payday to be on Friday. It's Friday or Wednesday for most people. So,
and it's probably the weather too. So.
Yeah. A lot of people that last second choice. I mean, we know we had,
and we do procrastinate because we all procrastinate as kayak anglers. A lot of us do, and I do it myself. So it's the way of the world.
Kayak angler, I procrastinate in general. I mean, geez.
So this week, by the way, this weekend we have 71 events that are starting on Saturday.
71 events.
Yeah.
Look at Tourney X, man.
Yeah, so this is like the piece of paper that shows all 71 events and how many anglers are on each one of them. I still do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they make programs to track that for you.
Yeah, well, whatever. I kind of like I kind of like, adding a 2 to the 8 and carry the 1 and all that stuff. So it's just where it is. But anyway. But
all right, well, look, we're going to let you go. I was trying to get a surprise, quick jump-in guest in here with us while we were chit-chatting, and he's now messaging me back, but I don't think it's going to happen. But,
surprise? Who's that? Nah.
I was trying to get G-Man to jump in just to congratulate him.
Oh, man.
Publicly. He said no.
Dang.
Long story short, he said there's a lot going on at the house. We'll leave it at that. So, but Dwayne, this is your event, Santee, 2 years in a row, presented by Tourney X. I appreciate you being a title sponsor for us. Thank you for letting us work with you. Let's continue to grow together. And I'm not sure when I'll see you, but I look forward to shaking your hand again soon.
See, a lot of people don't know, but I pay back. I'm putting back into the kitty, basically. I put 100%. Back into what Vinny's doing. Vinny's doing a great job out there with Blaine and everyone else, and we want to see this thing grow. And I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. I appreciate you guys having me around. I'll be around Saturday somewhere. You need me, just give me a shout, okay?
Good deal, Blaine. You heard that. You shout. I'm catching fish.
Yes, sir. 10-4.
Later, buddy.
Just with my problems. Yep.
All right. Take care, guys.
Man, so cool to have, not only to work with Tourney X, but to have like a relationship where I could call him right now and be like, hey, we need to do this in the app to make this better.
Yeah, and that was it, dude. Us trying to figure out how everything was working, dude. He's been so helpful, helpful. You were out on the water on QE, and you were like, well, shut the leaderboard down. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. So I just called him up, man, and he walked me right through it. I mean, he is the man. And for stuff that, either I didn't have access to do, whatever, he just handled all of it. And I was like, man, and he was on the water. Not to mention, he was on the lake fishing.
He was fishing a tournament that day.
Yeah. Handling the stuff, man. He's a good guy. Once again, shows the sponsors Queen City has.
Yep. All right, well, we're going to bring in this big name. He's directed a tournament or two. He's been around for a little while. I love working with him. Consider him a very close friend. So we're going to bring him in here. Mr. AJ, director of the Hobie BOS Open Series. Going on is this year 5 Or is this is 5, right?
Year 5 of the series, but I was like wondering who else you were about to bring on the show, and you're like pumping up this big introduction, and I was like, okay, well, he's not talking about me. No, that's not me.
I mean, I got one more guy that most of what I said fits, and he's probably better looking on camera than you are. I can bring him in right now if you want.
My lighting's not good, man. I'm sorry. Is it the lighting that's hitting me tonight wrong?
Yeah, that's what it must be. It must be the lighting.
He's not feeling it today.
Well, AJ, man, it's this is a little different. It's usually you hosting, interviewing me, and I don't really want to call this an interview. We're just chit-chatting, talking about what we got going on this week. But I appreciate you being here. Where are you? Are you in town, or are you?
I am. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, with my girlfriend, and I'm, kind of recuperating from the Bassmaster Classic, and then everything else that happened the last, month or two before that. So it's just been busy. And we're running right into April, full steam ahead, man. We got 2 big ones in the month of April. I mean, I look at the calendar showing us 5 weekends in April, and I'm like trying to chop up 2 events into 5 weekends. And, we got Santee starting off the month with QC, man, and all the way back to Norman. We've been bringing up some big numbers on some big Carolina fisheries and just having a blast doing it, man. And I'm excited to get out that way this week for you guys, for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm pumped up not only to get back on the water in your series, but just to see the collaboration for year 4. We've done Norman, we've done Hartwell, and now we're going back-to-back Santee. I know you and I had like a penciled imagination plan that we were going to do this nice rotation, but when you work with great people and you bring in a ton of anglers and everything goes as planned, it's hard to not go back to an amazing fishery down at Santee. So here we are, man, round 2. You guys are in the 180s. We're hoping to be just one angler higher than you. And, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good, fun Friday night for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a fun week. I mean, a lot of our anglers, they'll be trickling in all week. They're going to have, the lake, it's weekdays on the lake. So, it doesn't get much better than fishing weekdays on the lake. We don't know about that, but other people do. We see their pictures and they look great.
Lake looks empty, nice weather, glass.
But yeah, man, it's going to be a good week. And, I'm traveling in on Thursday and I was super pumped up. I know everybody posts their travel schedules and stuff, but like the last 2 events have been almost 10 hours plus for me from Knoxville. And so I popped in the Google Maps the other day, kind of planning my week, and I was like, 5 hours. I was like, man, like that's like half as far as Caddo. I was getting excited. I was like, I can leave after lunch and still be there before dark. I was getting pumped. It's the little things in tournament director life you get excited about. So, we'll be coming in Thursday. So, any of our anglers or any of your anglers, if they need something Hobie related, we'll be bringing in our parts trailer and all that stuff to keep folks kicking around all weekend. And, in the meantime, there's some great dealers, not in that area, but, about an hour and a half radius, you can get to about 5 different Hobie retailers that all have, decent stock and selection. We posted them up on our BOS page, but you can reach out to me directly if you're having trouble with that. And that's really all it is, man. We enjoy fishing kayaks. We have some money involved. There's a little bit of money involved. Your payouts today, man. I mean, let's talk about that. That is an opportunity. So if you are a Hobie angler just watching this thing and you're not sure, I mean, you got to get sure. That payout's the opportunity for 4 fish on Saturday. I mean, you never know how it's going to play out. It's essentially a different tournament, kind of. Like you might not even be in the hunt in the BOS event, and you could be moneying in the QC event because 4 fish versus 5 fish. It's a completely different deal in how it plays out.
I'm going to interrupt you right there. Eric Siddiqui didn't put a 5th fish in last year in your side of it. So take it from somebody else who didn't put a 5th fish in. It killed our day 1, but he had enough in 4 to go home with almost $2,500. He won 24 and change last year. So for 65 to go home with 2,400, I'm pretty sure that's a good ROI. And it's due to our sponsors, and Tourney X is our sponsor this month. So huge shout out to Dwayne. We just had him on, but the reason that money looks so good is because of great companies like that one. So, obviously your payouts are stacked, and I'm excited to be able to fish for those. And For those of you who are Hobie guys and don't follow Queen City, it's not my first event I'm hosting. It's not the first time we're with Hobie Bass Open Series. We are a reputable club. That money will be paid out to you immediately. We do wear a lot of purple and pink, as stated in the post, but we're good people. So feel free to jump in. I know Kurt made a post today. I appreciate Kurt. Christine usually drops a post for us. So hoping we get a lot of your guys over my way, and we're going to find out how many of mine actually jumped in yours when we get a second here later this week.
Yeah, the little side bet each year on who helps who more in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
It's mutually beneficial, man.
I think so.
I think that's the way we got to do it, and the way
That's the best way to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how it works for everybody. I'm excited. It's not every year do you get the opportunity to go back to the same place, the same time of year, because traditionally we try to go to the best fisheries, the best time of the year, and everybody else wants to be there also. But the folks at Clarendon County, Jesse and his staff, they were like, hey, you let us know when you want to come back. We want you.
I mean, and
they put us as a priority. They value our organizations. They love us. They it cracks me up, man. First people to come into my booth in both iCast and Bassmaster are some of our host communities for our tournaments. And it warms my heart, man, because they value our group and our anglers and what we do when we come to their communities so much that they want to see us early in those shows just to say hey. And it's those relationships and things like that that's going to mean opportunities for us to go to places like Santee for years to come. And I understand there's other good fisheries in the Carolinas and there's a lot of good opportunities, and we have some other good partners, and I'm sure we'll be visiting them just like you guys do. But it just means a lot that you can have a special place like Santee Cooper, and we're just as special to them, we're just as special to them as it is to us. So it's good to kind of keep it rolling.
And that's what I said about Jesse before. He drove, just call it 3 hours, give or take, up to Charlotte, where he has no opportunity to make money on site. He's not selling anything. He stood behind a table for 4 hours at an expo. Where he was like, well, how many people are coming? And my answer was like, I have no idea. It could be nobody. And he was like, I'll be there. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. And he made me laugh. He was actually like, so let me guess, you invited me thinking I was going to say no, and now you're surprised I'm coming. I was like, no, I didn't think you'd say no. I was like, but I would understand if you said no. And he was there, man. He had his booth set up. It was awesome. So he's awesome people to work with. I love going there. I don't have a reason to not go there. I know it's a little different in your scenario, but there are other organizations who are fishing the other lakes in the Carolinas. So this could be a standing event for you, in my opinion. We were spoiled a few weeks ago. If you fished that other series, there was an event on Lake Murray, and then we are actually getting an opportunity to partner up with BASS on Lake Hartwell and visit Anderson with Neil, which is a huge opportunity for the Queen City anglers. So we're going back to back with you and then Steve-O, which to me is amazing. So really looking forward to that. But AJ, I got somebody backstage who I want to bring in. He is the reigning champ of this event. He's somebody I got a chance to get to know down in Texas for your TOC last year. But before I do that, I do want to have you say something here on Queen City that I'm not sure many people saw you say the other day at the expo, at the Bassmaster Classic Expo. Can you tell us where your 2023 TOC is, sir?
Well, those things take a lot of planning to build up. A lot of times they can be 2 or 3 year deals, and you want to be strategic about kind of when you announce it. And, there were a lot of variables on display. And, when Bass announced that it was going to be their championship for 2022, but, they do their championship to start the other year, we kind of wanted to hold off on our announcement just to kind of give them and those anglers that kind of stage that championship and that lake deserves. So once that kind of wrapped up, and big shout out to all the anglers that went into horrible conditions on Wednesday and Thursday this week in Tennessee. But speaking of great partners, the state of Tennessee and specifically Dayton, Tennessee are amazing partners for the kayak fishing community, and they want to have the Hobie Bass Open Series Tournament of Champions. It's powered by Power Pole. Will be 60 anglers on Lake Chickamauga Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, November 8th through the 10th, out of Dayton, Tennessee. And that's a deal that is going to expand for 2 years and 6 events through both the BOS and college series, both in Watts Bar and Lake Chickamauga, as Dayton and Spring City share Ray County and parts of both of those lakes. So they believe in outdoor recreation and outdoor tourism. It's been huge for their communities, and they see how beneficial the kayaks are to their communities and their fisheries as well. And it's taken us years to get to this point where these communities want to continue to support us. And it's organizations like you guys and the support for the BOS that has allowed these communities to continue to want to invest into us, so we continue to come to these great fisheries, so our anglers have these opportunities.
Dude, that's awesome for a Carolina angler, myself, and for all the Carolina anglers who might make a run at your TOC. That's like a skip and a jump for a Hobie event, right? It's 5 hours for us, like you said earlier, for directing. Well, for me, as an angler, I started my first set of fishing with you all was an 8-hour circle. New Hampshire destroyed that theory. That was like 17 hours. But, so to have a championship within 5 hours for guys who are making a run at it is amazing. I just drove 15 to Texas, Louisiana, Shreveport, to fish your TOC last year. Decided this was the year I was going to take a break, and then you put it essentially in my backyard. So kind of breaks my heart a little bit that probability says I won't be there unless I have an insane weekend this weekend. But for the guys who are making a run at it, for my guys who went to your first 2 events, whether it was Florida or Caddo, and they've stacked up some points already. Joey cut a check at the Harris chain. So, like, knowing it's on Chick, that's amazing. So really hoping these guys make a run at it. And we'll see. Hopefully we got some pink and purple on the stage at your TOC in November.
Absolutely, man. Well, I know there's going to be some QC guys get some great points this weekend, whether we get automatic qualifiers or not. Depends on how it all shakes out. But I know everybody knows you all got some hammers, and y'all show up when the lights are on and the big guys are in town. So it's going to be a fun weekend for sure.
Well, I'm going to bring in a big guy right now. We have Mr. Canada here, Nate Conley, literally our first international guest on This Is Not a Podcast. I've been waiting to say that all week. Nate, it's great to see you, even though it's virtually. You are the reigning champ of Santee Cooper last year. Actually, it was today last year where you won it. I'm sure your memories were flooded, as mine were.
Yep.
I was a few spots behind you there, but you crushed it. So welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me on, Bing.
Are you down in Clarendon? Are you near the lake? Are you still in Canada?
You bet I am. Yeah, I've been here since Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you by chance stop in Rusty Hook's Bait and Tackle on the way down?
No.
Okay, because I went in today and David, the owner, was like, we had an angler from Canada with a kayak in here.
You know what? There's actually 5 of us coming from Canada.
I had another one message me. You guys are you travel all together. That's cool.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? My friend Josh actually stopped in there on the way down.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Look at that. QC getting support from across the lines. I love it.
Look at that.
I love it. So, Nate, I wanted to just BS with you about last year's experience. I understand you won't be able to give up too much information, as you're probably hoping most of it does exactly the same stuff. But then we can talk about maybe TOC last season, and we can talk about maybe some good and bad that happened at Caddo earlier this year, and you can fight the guy that's directly to your right on my screen if you wanted. But, we as an angler, tell us what you do up in Canada. Tell us who your new sponsor is for your boat, and let's let QC get to know the guy that we're competing against next week.
Yeah, so actually up north, I fish the Ontario Kayak Bass Trail and Ontario Bass. So John Dean puts on a really good tournament series up there. The OKBT probably averages, 100
120?
Yeah, 100 to 120 anglers. I believe there's 5 events. So basically, there's May, June, July, August, and September. So
And the rest of
these
the
are
time
pretty
it's
much our
both.
fishing months up north. So we don't get the early March, February like you guys do down here. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's one of the big reasons why there's 5 of us coming down for this one here. So
Well, how long did it take you to get down there?
it's about 16 hours, 16 and a half.
And you were just at Caddo, which was how long?
That was 19 and a half.
Gosh, man.
It's dedication right there.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is.
big haul.
That's a long drive. I could not do it.
Yeah, imagine
That's
how
2
sad
long
it was.
drives.
Imagine
Yeah,
how sad my drive home was.
From Caddo or from
Caddo.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Caddo.
I beat myself up on the way home from tournaments I don't do well in. If I had 19 hours to do it, I don't know, man.
Well, it gets a little worse, Blaine. Nate, so we all know about the highs, right? We all experience the highs. But I wanted to have like a real man-to-man, angler to angler, director to angler conversation about staying informed about some things that you have to stay informed about, and reading the rules and understanding what's going on around you and stuff like that. So obviously I know, and anybody who follows you might know, that you had an experience at Caddo that we all dread. And you said in the text you'd be okay talking about it a little bit. So tell us what happened, and then we'll get rid of AJ and make fun of him and all that good stuff. But
Did someone
no,
forget to click the files tab?
something about the files tab, maybe. So tell us what happened, explain what happened, and give guys something to learn about.
Yeah, so I was actually having a pretty good day out on Caddo. I slipped into this little back pocket, and it was gonna be my last spot of the day. I caught a couple fish there in practice, and I was really working it methodically and taking my time, and hit these trees, caught a couple, and I'm like, you know what, I got to hit the back of them. So I move her around, and I'm just taking my time, casting my Senko. You know how I do, and caught a couple more fish, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head out. There was a tree I wanted to hit on the way out. It was kind of very obvious, high percentage. Knew I was gonna catch a fish on it, so I'm like, I'll hit that tree on the way out, and hit that tree. I think caught like an 18 or 19, something like that, and it was like a 3.5 inch call for me, and I think the time was like 245, 248 or something, and submitted the fish. I was like pumped. I'm like fist pumping. I'm like, yes, knew there was going to be a fish there. Like big call right at the end. On my way back, and I get a message from AJ on Messenger, and he's like, call me ASAP. And I'm like, oh man, I must have screwed up the picture. But I don't know what I did wrong. I like actually quick checked the pictures, and I'm like, it looks good. So I call AJ. He's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, not much, just catching fish, And he's like, yeah, I saw that. And it was 2:45. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, fishing was done at 2:30, brother. I'm like, no, and like just heart sank. Literally felt like I was gonna throw up. I'm like, no, I can't believe I did that. And so lines out was at 2:30. I thought it was 3:00. I don't know why I thought it was 3:00, but I kind of thought about it earlier in the day, and I'm like, I should really get online and check and double check. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's probably 3:00. And you know what? I was back in this little pocket. I didn't see anyone else. So, I didn't see anyone leaving to go back to the ramp or anything. So I was kind of in the dark, but yeah. AJ called me, and he's like, man, that's not good. Like, AJ, you were pretty kind about it. AJ's like, what could I have done for you to know that you were supposed to be off the water at 2:30? I'm like, man, has nothing to do with you. It's my bad, obviously. So, so I got my fish for the day DQ'd, and I decided to take off, go home, and practically cry myself all the way back to the cold up in Canada.
It's you handled it like a man. You didn't get online and complain. You didn't blame anybody else. You took blame. It's a situation that sucks. It's a situation that sucks for our position, right? I know AJ was probably had a bigger knot in his stomach than you did, knowing you drove literally across the country to go home empty-handed because of a penalty / DQ. So that sucks. But it's important, guys. Like, we say it all the time, read the rules once, read the rules twice, and then make a list of questions and pay attention at the captain's meeting on Friday night, or in our case, Thursday nights, we do it live. So, these little things like 15 minutes cost him thousands of dollars and driving across the country. And, it sucks for everybody involved. And I hate that for you, Nate. And hopefully you get some redemption this weekend on Santee. Just one spot less than me, redemption, but a little bit of redemption.
I feel like you're not an official tournament angler unless you get DQ'd or questioned at least once, right?
It happens, man. It
does
happens.
happen to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you got to pay attention.
AJ, AJ, I know I've been there, man. I hate having to end people's day early or for whatever reason, but you're in a position of power and you got to do what you got to do. And AJ, you as well handled it the right way, and hats off to you as one of the best directors in the game, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, but it's, we do this stuff for guys like Nate that put in the hours and the time and the money, and they're away from friends and family and work, and like there's so many sacrifices that go along to travel, especially at that distance, and it's never easy. But at the same time, while these people, and some people you know more than others, or you have business or personal relationships, or your friends, you've known them for 15 years or more, it's like you have to handle every situation like it wasn't a friend, or like it wasn't that. You have to handle it very specifically, and I think that's one of the things that makes tournament directing, especially in this sport with a lot of scrutiny on both the anglers and the directors, it holds us to a pretty high standard, and people are very aware of all of that. And we had just had that Bassmaster on Gunnersville where a few other anglers had something similar, and I think it's I think people there's not that many 2-day tournaments. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, don't understand why not fishing after day one is important. And I was kind of explaining to Nate kind of the perspective that it could be. And, Nate handled it like a pro, and he had probably more patience, in me kind of getting back with him than I wish he had to have it. We were dealing with a tremendous amount of fishing, and the fish coming in right at the end. And then we were kind of dealing with that. And I always run that stuff by like kind of a director, kind of consultant thing that we work on just to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page on stuff. And, I appreciate his patience because, man, it was never good news on something like that. And, Nate's a champion. He's a angler from the Tournament of Champions. He represented, one of 9 people to win events last year, as good as anybody, and invested into our series and made a lot of events and and was one of the big reasons we made one of our big rule changes as far as registration goes this year, because it was him winning that event and saying, I want to be in the running for Angler of the Year, but now these other events that I could go to are already sold out, but I didn't know that I really needed to go to them. We kind of put in that ability to, register early if you're in the top, kind of range of anglers, or if you qualified last year for TOC. And so, it was kind of him sharing some of that stuff with me that kind of really started that ball running. I remember I had an hour and 10-minute conversation from the meeting hall last year at QC in Hobie to get to my Airbnb, just because how spread out things are on Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie. And I was talking to the guys and I was like, we've got to do something for people that are going to have success in these events to make sure that they can get into the next one. So just little things like that. And I appreciate Nate, and I hope redemption is there for him for sure coming up soon.
Well, AJ, thanks for that. The rule change, it makes a lot of sense. The guys who qualified last year and the guys who are in the running this year, I mean, those are the guys that need the opportunity to fish and should not be eliminated from fishing from, say, a service issue, or, they're at work and can't jump on Tourney X. So definitely appreciate the rule change, and I'm sure the community does it well as well. AJ, we're gonna let you run, and we'll see you in a few days, Friday night, down there around the lake, hanging out.
Yeah, real quick. And I know I say it every year. Thanks to all the QC guys for their support, especially you, Vinny. You know, I know Vinny jokes around a little bit. And we've had our words about, you know, grassroots or club or whatever. But Vinny's organization is spectacular. He values you guys, treats you guys amazing, and puts so much effort into you all. And I want to thank you all for the support that you give him, because you know, that's how it all works. And that's why he works his ass off for you guys, is because you all give him the same amount of hard time and support that he gives you. And it's an incredible thing. You guys go there. It's a model club. I know people all over the country reach out to Vinny for advice, and I do as well. So you guys have a good one right there, and support him all the way up to about 185 anglers on Friday.
Hey, I appreciate the kind words, brother. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, guys. Everybody, safe travels this week getting down to Santee. Thank you, guys.
Later, buddy. All right, Nate. I got to kick him out. I don't want to kick him out. I just want to remove him. There you go. I had to kick him out.
Did you see that? It was perfect.
I know. So, Nate, let's talk about some good stuff, brother. How's the fishing down on Santee? Obviously you're not going to give us the juice, but are you catching some bigs?
Yeah, I've caught a few. Actually, the weather hasn't really been cooperating. It's been pretty crazy. There's been some pretty big thunderstorms rolling through. I got caught in one and dumped my net. I'm missing a net now. So yeah,
you don't need that. Don't worry about it.
Nah.
We
just lip those 8-pounders, easy.
Also, you're catching 8-pounders. Good to know.
8 to 10, whatever.
So what was your for the people who are watching who have no idea who you are, what was your total limit last year when you took home 10 grand?
I'm actually gonna have to look that up, and I was looking it up earlier.
You were over 200 though, right?
No, 194.
Okay.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you this year, buddy, just so you know.
Yeah, almost 100 on day one though. But
nice.
Santee's got some really big fish in it, man. It really, there's a certain group of people, if you like to fish shallow, man, this is your lake. It really is.
I think most of us like to be shallow if we had to prefer, right? Me and Nate got to talk for a whole week straight in Caddo, and Caddo is pretty. It resembles Santee really well. It's shallow swamp, cypress, a little bit of grass here and there, but we got to fish against each other there. We had a good time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think we were both a little disappointed at the day 3 situation, but it is what it is. Yeah. But all right, cool. Well, tell us your prediction. What's it going to take home the 2-day total on the Bass Open Series and the 1-day 4-fish limit on Queen City?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, like, better than anyone. Like, you can. It's like you can zero or you can hero. You can put up 108 inches or not catch a fish. So it's going to be close to 200. It's going to be that 195 to 200 for sure.
195 to 200.
Like, someone always catches them. So, I'd say we're going to be close to the 200.
I wish I knew what it was about Santee that it is zero or hero. Like, I don't get it. I don't know what that switch is. I don't know what that changes. Is it the Florida strain bass that are in there? I don't know what it is, but
shallow water, and they're more responsive to barometric pressure. So you have those frontal changes, man. It'll knock them on the head quick there, quicker than it would in a deeper water reservoir.
I guess we need to sneak some spots in there. Maybe they'll eat all year.
Get out of here.
They'll get eaten immediately. It's a war zone down there. Everything's violent with teeth. It's so funny.
Like Australia, everything's trying to kill you.
It's serious. That's the vibe I get. You turn around, you got a 15-foot gator. You look the other way, you got a water moccasin. You got red wasps in the trees. Like, it's a violent area, and I don't really know why Jesse wants to work down there per se, but he's laughing backstage, so that's good. But somebody said they're on the zero side of it, and I don't know how much I believe all that. So we'll see. It's only Monday, boys and girls. It's about to get real on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, I was looking at the 4-fish limit as well. And I didn't get into the Queen City last year, which I'm not going to make that mistake again. Obviously, I'm already signed up this time.
Yep.
But actually, I thought I was gonna. I thought I would have won that too. And Siddiqui had, I think, 82 and a half or something in 4 fish.
Yeah, it was somewhere right there.
He had like 2 massive fish, like almost a 24 and a 23. But yeah, I think I was 80 and a half, and he would have been 82. So I mean,
still would have went home with a sweet check though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I did notice you signed up pretty early this year, which was cool. Yeah. And I'm glad you'll be there competing on our side of it. Big money. Hopefully we have 200 anglers paying out $2,500. I packed up all the hardware tonight. Nice big plaque for the winner to go home with. We have catch coins for the Big Bass Award. We do have the Small Bass Award pot. So it'll be a lot of fun having everybody in one room again. It would be cool. So Nate, I appreciate you signing up, and tell your Canada boys to sign up. One of them did message me, so tell the other 3 to get in.
Definitely will.
But all right, we're gonna let you go. I'm sure you got some re-rigging to do for tomorrow. Good luck, be safe, and if you need anything before Friday, just hit me up.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool cat right there, man. We had a good week down in Texas in November. It was cool to be able to bounce some ideas off somebody and work together. I don't get to do that a lot. I'm pretty solo fisherman, so it was nice to be in a house, and we dissected that lake together. He had a huge day 2. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they had like 95, 97 inches on day 2, and I was more consistent throughout the week, but he was finding the bigs. I just couldn't find them.
Yeah, it tends to go like that on Santee, man. You can find numbers, but you won't find size, or you'll find size.
This was Caddo. This was the TOC for Hobie. Yep. But yeah, it's the same lake, dude. It's essentially the same lake.
That's why I'm already getting it mixed up, man. I've seen pictures from both. I mean, obviously, I've been to Santee. I haven't been to Caddo, but there's even a lake in Florida called Rousseau. It looks identical, man. It's just those cypress forest lakes, man.
Yep. All right, Blaine. Well, look, this is the longest one. We're getting longer, so that's something we're going to have to work out. But it is at 59 minutes. The OG goal was 30 to 45, but here we are. So I'm going to go hang with Matt. He's in town from Michigan. Blaine, thanks for your time. Appreciate you being here. And you need anything before Friday, hit me up. And if not, you're on duty Saturday.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. Later.
We'll see y'all.
All right, Queen City, and maybe the few Bass Open anglers that are still sitting here. Appreciate you guys watching and hanging out. We didn't have a lot of questions come through on the chat tonight, but we had some big names in there. I want to shout out Jesse again for jumping on, AJ from Bass Open Series for jumping on, Nate and Dwayne, Blaine always for being here. So it's been really cool hanging out with them and chit-chatting about the big week coming. If you guys need anything, let me know. I am leaving town Wednesday after coaching to head down, and I'll be on the water Thursday, Friday, and then at the captain's meeting Friday night, all set up. So if you need something, try to hit me up before then. Get signed up. Would love to break 100 tomorrow. So everything Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can try pushing that 200 mark. So have a great night. Thank you, everybody. Huge shout out to Native Watercraft for everything we do. Boondocks for bringing us the Southern Division. Big Adventures for bringing us the Western Division. And Academy Sports and Outdoors for your Angler of the Year presenting sponsor. Big points on the line this week. So hope you all have a great Monday night, and we'll see you soon.